Welcome back. We are picking up our chat with Oscar-winning actor and author Matthew McConaughey, who is sharing stories from his new memoir, Greenlights. Matthew, in this book, you share with us some of your most life-changing moments, and one of them happened on the set of Dazed and Confused. That was your first film, and it's about a scene that you weren't originally supposed to be in, but then you found yourself in this scene, and you came out the other side with one of the most iconic lines of your career. Tell us what happened.
Sure. So I get called to set to do a makeup wardrobe test. And this is on the set of Dazed and Confused, my very first film I'd ever been on. And I'm not supposed to work that night. I'm just supposed to put on my makeup wardrobe, let the director come by and approve it. Well, he does. He comes by and he approves it. And then all of a sudden he goes, hey, Wooderson, the character you're playing, I figure he's the kind of guy that's been with the typical hot chicks in school. You think he'd be interested in the redheaded intellectual? And I'm like, yeah, man, Wooderson likes all types of chicks. And he goes, okay. He goes, well, Marissa Ribisi is playing the role of Cynthia over here. She's our redheaded intellectual. She's over here at the top-notch drive-in with her nerdy friends in the back seat. And I think Wooderson might pull up and try and pick her up. I'm like, sure. Next thing I know, I'm in my car and a lavalier mic on, and I'm in this top-notch drive-through, and there's Cynthia over there in the car with the nerds. She's 30 yards away, and on action, I'm supposed to pull up and go pick her up. Nothing is written. So I started to get a little nervous. And I started to tell myself mentally, who's your man, Matthew? Who's Wooderson? What is Wooderson about? And I tell myself, I say, Wooderson's about rock and roll. I'm like, oh, well, I got Ted Nugent in the 8-track playing Stranglehold. There's one thing I've got. And I'm like, Wooderson's about his car. And I'm like, well, I'm in my 70s Chevelle right now. There's two things I got. And then I said, Wooderson's about getting high. And I'm like, well, Slater's riding shotgun. He's always got a doobie rolled up. There's three. And as soon as I said that to myself, I hear action. And I say to myself, well, the fourth thing Wooderson's about is picking up chicks. Put it in drive. And in my mind, I said, I got 3 out of 4 on my way to getting the fourth. All right, all right, all right. And that was the 3 affirmations for the things I did have on my way to go get the fourth. And
So
that was the
good.
first 3 words I ever said on film. First 3 words I ever said on film. And people say now, what do you think when people say it? Do you get tired of people saying it? I'm like, no. And I tell them that story, and that's the reason why. I said, look, that's the first 3 words I said in the summer of 1992 when I thought that may just be a one-off hobby, that I got to go act in a movie for a couple of days, and that was it. And it turned out to be 28 years later, a career that I love. So I appreciate when that said. It's a callback for me.
I literally just watched that exact scene just literally days ago. So thank you for helping me relive that moment. That was beautiful.
That's where that came
So
from.
it's so good. You went on to, of course, have this incredible career, and for a while, you became this leading man in many romantic comedies. And
Yes.
you had said once at one point in time that you felt like you just sort of taken the baton from Hugh Grant and kind of ran with it. But then there was a time when you were just like, you decided that was enough. You didn't want any more of it, despite the fact that you were being offered a $14 million paycheck to do just one more. So what was it like for you to just go, no, I'm going to close that chapter?
Scary, because at that time, all I was getting offered was romantic comedies, and I enjoyed doing those romantic comedies. They were fun to do. I was getting paid quite handsomely for it, as you noted with that offer that came in. But it was the only thing I was getting offered. And so I said, look, the work I want to do some dramatic work. Those offers are not coming in. I cannot get those jobs as much as I try. And I said to myself, well, look, if I can't do what I want to do, I'm going to stop doing what I've been doing. And that was a scary proposition because I was like, well, Camille and I were like, well, how long is it going to be dry? How long are you going to go without work, Matthew? There's no guarantee. This is a one-way ticket into limbo. But I knew I was ready to take the chance. I'd prayed on it. I've talked with Camille about it. I checked with my business manager about it, and he said, your money's okay if you don't go to work. You've saved well. I talked with my agent. I said, you be the gatekeeper. Don't let rom-coms come to me, and let me know if some good work, some dramatic work comes. Well, I said no. I moved down to Texas. And nothing came in but romantic comedies for the first 6 months. I said, no. I tell the story in the book about that $14.5 million offer that finally came. And mind you, that script I read when it came in at a $5 million offer. They moved it up when I said no to 8 million. I said no again, it went to 10. I said no again, it went to 12. I said no again, it went to 14.5. And let me let you know, at 14.5 million, that exact same script that was offered me at 5 million was a better script. It was funnier. It was more dramatic. I was like, oh, this will work. I can make this one work now, you know? I read it and paused and said, no. And that, I think, sent a signal out to Hollywood. Oh, McConaughey's not bluffing about not doing any more romantic comedies. He just turned this down. And so then nothing came in. I'd call my agent every week. He'd be like, no, the phone doesn't even ring for you anymore. And that went on for another 14 months. So a total of 20 months had gone by. I had considered different careers. I'd considered becoming a teacher, orchestral conductor, high school football coach. I just didn't know if I would ever work as an actor again. And then all of a sudden, I became a new good idea in Hollywood. All of a sudden, Joe, Paperboy, Mud gets made, Dallas Buyers Club. I can now get that made. True Detective comes. The things I wanted to do started coming to me, and I attacked them. I absolutely attacked them. I remember I was so ready after that 2-year sabbatical, and I knew what I wanted to do. I was so hungry, I came out ferocious, and it worked. That sabbatical I took, it worked. But it was a very scary proposition. And I'm glad at the time I had my wife, Camilla, and we had a newborn son there, to Levi. So having a newborn son and having my wife with me helped me sort of stay on the rails, so to speak, because I did battle bouts of insignificance, bouts of what am I doing? My blood family was like a lot of people going, what are you doing, man? $14.5 million. You're saying, no, what are you talking about? Are you out of your mind? You know, so trust me, I had people going, but they understood. They knew me well enough to go, no, he's made up his mind and we know how he is when he makes up his mind. Okay, we don't get it, but good luck. And it worked out.
Well, that resolve obviously resulted in what people call the McConaissance and why you're such an inspiration, which is what you're sharing in this book. So before we let you go, we're hoping perhaps you can share a little bit more inspiration. We recently saw you on Jimmy Kimmel giving a pep talk, and we see you on the sidelines at football games and at your beloved Longhorns. You're giving pep talks. So we're in Canada. We're hoping you could give us a 15-second Matthew McConaughey style pep talk to our country. Would that be okay? Can I count you down, Matthew?
We'll give it a shot. I don't know what the heck I'm going to say, but let's give it a shot.
All right. I'm going to count you down from 3, 2, go.
Hey, Canada. We're all in the same boat together on this one. This going through this year 2020. A lot of red and yellow lights have been this year. Things are hard. I say to you, please maintain your resilience. All right. It's going to take each of us individually to make any kind of collective change to turn the pace and get out of this year where we're going, so we can maybe one day look back at 2020 and say, actually, that was a green light year. Amongst all the tragedy that we went through, maybe this is a new beginning. Maybe we're in the middle of something right now. How can we use this time to take inventory on ourselves and our loved ones and ask ourselves once again, and maybe realign our answer? What do I value? That's a great question to ask ourselves. Once we answer that, let's take that out of this time and have some evolution going forward.
Matthew, thank you so much for your wisdom and for being so generous with your time. You are such a treat to me. Thank you so much.
Well, it was a joy talking to y'all, and I look forward to the next time. Maybe it'll be in person, all right?
We love that.
Thank you.
Listen up, everybody. Greenlights is out now. Get yourself a copy. It is wonderful. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.